the MBC, the Municipal Building Committee, has a bylaw that says that any project for any municipal department that is a building project valued at $75,000 or over are under the jurisdiction and purview of the Municipal Building Committee, which now falls under the purview of the town manager. So with that said, we had a meeting with the Municipal Building Committee and town manager. The conversation is, at that meeting, it was decided through the Municipal Building Committee, and one of the committee members, Ernie Sandlin, sits on there. He made a suggestion. He works as the Buildings and Grounds Director for Whitman Hanson, lives in North Attleboro. He had said that he was concerned, there was heightened concern over the time to go out to bid for this project, because he was afraid and worried that because if we went out now, that most of the roofing contractors had already kind of locked and loaded their jobs for the upcoming change in weather. And because they were locked and loaded, he said, and he didn't use those words, he said because their plates were already full, it could result in us having to pay a much higher premium to get that roof. Can we move that down the pike a ways and not do it right away? So Kyle was there, and I asked Ernie, I said, we're talking very subjectively, what kind of dollars are we talking about that we can save? So Ernie said conservatively, anywhere from 10 to 15% of total construction costs in his estimate would be saved if we move this project down the road. So it's not that we wanted to intentionally kick this project down the road and not do it right away. It was the potential of savings that we could, benefit from. In the meantime, what they said was, we still need to do, and absolutely like any project would. We had committed as a town that we need to replace this roof. Kyle has already articulated the steps to me in multiple ways as to what happens next. We assign and find an engineer and architectural firm to go and look at this roof, and then they, as part of the whole bid package, go out and they take care of the core samples and they look at the roof to decide, exactly what we're looking at, put together their bid documents based off of all their information, and then they go out that way. I think it was being contorted and twisted to seem like we were not doing our due diligence as a school department by not doing core samples. You wouldn't do that. You would do that after you've secured yourself a contractor that you're working with to do the total project.
It is a fairly lengthy process. Quite honestly, a lot of these projects funded through the CIP were traditionally approved, say, at the June town meeting. So then you would have had, June to the following summer to do all of this, and reading into it, I believe it was around December 10th, 12th, somewhere in there, when the town council approved it. So, and then not only did they approve it, say, off schedule for when a project of this size is normally done, as Scott said, it's a municipal building committee project, so it's not me and Kyle that's going out to look for an architect, it's them going out to look for an architect at this point, and they would have to approve the contract and do those steps forward. So, it's a little bit of the timing, but it's also, that was in December, and it wasn't, quite honestly, up to us to take the next step at that point in time.
The council wanted the money spent now. They wanted the project done now. However, I think once they hear about the 10 to 15% savings and about what has to happen first from who, I think they'll understand why that project's delayed.
So David, can I ask you, in your professional opinion, what should be occurring right now?
They should be going out to bid to select the designer and engineer. So even if you say the construction is not until school gets out in June of 2021, you can absolutely be having the design done now.
Can you tell us, too, why that's important to do now and not put off 3 months?
Well, so we don't find ourselves in this boat a year from now. If we, with any major construction project, the earlier you can get out there and lock the vendor up, you get on their job, even if it's 6 months ahead of time, knowing that as soon as the kids get out, the weather's good, that they're going to be there. And even if they're bidding on other jobs, they say, okay, North Attleboro was first in line. And then once North Attleboro's knocked out, maybe, just making it up, Plainville's looking for a roof and they bid on that job too, but we were first, so to speak, so we would be the first ones that they come to.